Welcome. My name is David Figueroa-Martinez of DFM Coaching, and this is going to be part of the No Reset Required series for the new year. There should be 5 of these that will all drop on the same week. I'm hoping you like this, and these kind of help for the new year. Sometimes we get into these habits and we build up maybe poor structure or habits, and we just need a little bit of help getting out of that. This specific episode is going to be consistency is boring, and it really probably should be for the most part. There's nothing sexy about consistency. There's nothing sexy about showing up to work every day. There's nothing sexy about showing up on time every day. There's absolutely nothing sexy about doing the same technique over and over until you completely understand it. But those are the things that we kind of have to do. We have to put ourselves in ways where we have to be really intentional about the training we're going to do, about the techniques that we're going to study, about the things that we want to accomplish in a given year, and understand that it does not happen without a lot of boredom. And I get it. We don't want to be bored with jiu-jitsu necessarily, but you do want to build a structure in place where your habits are in place, where they do the things that you need to do in order to build up the big flashy thing that you want to do later. For 4 months when I was a brown belt, all I did was pass the guard, go to mount, armbar people. Does it get boring for my training partner? Yeah. I don't care. You figure it out. Does it sometimes get boring for me? Yes. There's other things I want to do too. There's other things that I want to study, other things that I want to develop. But I'm trying to understand this technique at a mastery level, and it's going to require me to do a lot of R&D for it that isn't fun or flashy. The point being, I have to spend so much time in a given technique or a series or a guard or a position to really pick up and master it. It's not about learning or understanding all the steps required. It's about understanding all the ways that it can go wrong. That's what you're mastering. It isn't the other. The other you can do really quickly. I can teach you all the steps that you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. You'll learn. You'll be good at it. But it's the human interaction that you have with other people that you can't get right away. A tall person with thick arms is going to respond differently to a lanky armed person, which is going to respond differently to a person who has shorter arms, which is going to respond differently to people who are wide. And when you're in S mount or mount, your knees don't touch the mat, which is different than someone who is really athletic, which is different than someone who's a competitor. So you have to do the really boring work. And it isn't to understand or to learn the steps. It's to understand all the things that will go wrong. It's to understand all the things that your opponents, the wide berth of humanity and the different mental approaches and the different things that they're going to just pick to do because they're human. That is what you're trying to master. So if you're trying to get really good at triangles from closed guard, you're going to apply this to a bunch of different people, and it's going to feel boring. But one day someone's going to hit you with a response, and you're just going to be like, well, that was weird. All right, let me try it again. And they may get out the exact same way. Now you got to study that thing a little deeper. Like, why is this working? What are they doing that's different than everybody else? But you don't get to that point unless you do deep dives on all this other boring shit. So understand that when you want to get really good at specifics, you're going to have to spend a lot of time there. It is not sexy. It's not always fun. Sometimes you're going to get bored. And that's just part of the process. What you can do, though, is pick days where you want to do something different. If you're training 3 days a week, pick a couple of rounds on one of those days where you're just exploring something different. But the other rounds for the rest of the week, you're dedicated to this specific technique and all its glory and wonder. But you take a couple of rounds off, and I'm just going to explore to see wherever this goes. And sometimes what'll happen is because you're already so firm in what you're studying, you'll find other paths to get to the thing that you want anyway, but you wouldn't have because you were so like strict on how to get there. So consistency is going to be really boring. It's just putting in the work. It's part of the process. Don't look for the things that are sexy. Sprinkle in a couple of training sessions where you can do something different, but understand that when you can really burrow in and do this work, your jiu-jitsu is going to grow so much further than everyone else's. If you have any questions, please hit me up, dfm.2099 on Instagram or Threads. Until next time, thank you so much.